Welcome to Get More Happy. We invite you to journey with us as we find ways, big and small, to get more happy in your life.
Hey everybody, I'm obviously a new face on here. My name is Haley. I am Lisa's oldest daughter. I am the senior in college right now, and I am actually on here to do a little bit of vlogging with you guys and talk to you guys a little bit while I'm in quarantine. So I'm coming to you live from my quarantine zone with my tapestry, my big window, and I'm sitting on my couch with my roommates, my college roommates. I didn't go home, so I'm hanging out in my college town still, just surviving. So yeah, I'm actually on here just to do a little bit of a tidbit for you guys on what scheduling and my quarantine routine looks like for me. I know that Jesse and Elena came on last week and talked about what their quarantine routine looks like, and so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a different take on that and let you know how we might do it a different way. All still good ways, but just a little bit of a different perspective on it. So I don't know how many of you really know a whole lot about me, but I struggle a lot with anxiety and depression. And so for me, I'm also an extrovert, just like Jesse and Elena. And so for me, it's really hard to be trapped in a house. And for a long time, I have managed my anxiety and depression with lots of different things that I do every day. I try to learn something new every day. I exercise mostly every day. I get out of the house. I spend time with people. All sorts of different coping mechanisms that I've learned work really well for me over the years. But in this time, not only have all of my, routines and things like that changed, but also my access to a lot of these coping mechanisms has changed. And so instead of being able to go on runs with my friends and driving to their house and things like that, I am kind of restricted to my area of the city, which doesn't necessarily have a whole lot of great options, or at least not the options I'm used to when it comes to exercising or being around people or things like that. So just for a little bit of background information, the city that I'm in right now is currently in a shelter in place, which means we are only allowed to leave to go to the grocery store, or if we are necessary personnel, which I'm not. So we basically can leave to go to the grocery store, and we just did that. So that was our one trip for the year. But yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into how I'm kind of managing my anxiety and depression in this time, and how my quarantine routine helps that. So unlike Jesse and Elena, they both kind of had a more loose structure to their routine, which is totally great for people who can do that. I know myself, and I know that staying in my room and waiting for me to just feel the urge to go do something is never going to happen. I struggle a lot, even just with getting out of bed in the morning sometimes, and especially in times like this that are so chaotic and so out of my own control. I have a really hard time with that kind of stuff. And so knowing myself and knowing it was going to be hard for me just to even get up sometimes, I actually created a schedule. So this is my schedule. It's all blocked out. And it's not necessarily word for word what I'm doing during that time, but I have things like wake up and do yoga and drink coffee. And so I have that set at a time in the morning. I think I wake up about 8 a.m. is what this says. And so I'm trying to wake up as close to 8 a.m. as I can. And by 10 a.m. start my work. That gives me 2 hours to do something that I look forward to doing every day, which is drinking my coffee and doing yoga. I love doing yoga. It's something I've wanted to get better at for a long time. So that's a personal goal of mine during this time. And then I also obviously love drinking my coffee in the morning. It's just about the only thing that I get up for these days. So giving myself this time though to wake up in an actual hard schedule, or at least a goal, lets me be awake more during the daylight hours, because I know personally that I struggle a lot with nighttime hours. So being awake at 8 a.m. means that by 10 p.m. I'm tired. And so that means I'm awake for those 14-ish hours, and only 2 of those maybe are in the dark. And so that's really good for me because it helps me to keep my circadian rhythm on time. So I'm waking up at the right times and going to sleep at the right times. And it also helps me manage my depression because I'm not awake during the dark all by myself for hours on end. So that was one thing I did. And then additionally, I scheduled in like meal times so that I wouldn't forget to eat because I do that. So I scheduled in meal times just loosely, like, hey, eat a snack, eat some food. And then I also scheduled in work. So I still have classes, but I don't have hard set class times. I just have to do some schoolwork. And so I scheduled in times that I need to be doing something because I know these are my productive hours. And if I try to do something at these hours, it's just not going to go anywhere and I'm going to get really upset. And so I scheduled in times that I need to be doing something. And then additionally, in all this blue space here, you see, that's my free time. And so in those times, I'm using that as a really loosely scheduled time to do all the things Jesse and Elena were talking about in the last video. Do something creative, journal, talk to people, go for a walk, exercise, those kinds of things. And so I'm trying to set some goals for myself, just some broad overarching goals. Nothing super specific, nothing that I'm going to be really hard on myself with, but more just things to try and get myself excited and looking forward to what I'm doing every day so that I don't get into this slump of anxiety and depression that comes with being so out of control in your life. So yeah, that's kind of my take on it. All the things that Jesse and Elena said in the last video were awesome, and those are all things that I'm incorporating into my schedule. But, if you're like me and you need a little bit more structure to help keep yourself in a good headspace mentally, then that's okay, and know that that's a perfectly fine thing to do. And to set ambitious goals is a great thing for me because of the, cliche saying, if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. So that's kind of how I'm taking this is I'm setting ambitious goals and trying to keep myself motivated to achieve them, understanding that even if I don't achieve the specific goal that I'm going for, I'm still bettering myself in the meantime, and I'm doing what's best for myself. So yeah, that was a little longer than I thought it would be, but yeah, hang in there, guys. Keep doing good stuff and set that routine for yourself. Get up in the morning and enjoy the sun and enjoy the daytime while you can in the house that you probably are surrounded by people that you love. So take advantage of this craziness. Hang in there.